city of Las Vegas has witnessed a pro sports explosion unlike the world has ever seen. Until 2016, no Major League sports franchise had ever called Las Vegas home. The city would welcome 3 successful Major League teams in only 4 years. By 2023, a 4th would be on the way. As part of the storm, a surge of high-profile and minor league organizations are flocking to Sin City, ready to stake their claim to this virtual gold mine. In 2022, Las Vegas sporting events generated nearly $2 billion in economic activity from out-of-town visitors alone, with no ceiling in sight, which begs the question, how did this happen so fast? Join me as we dive deep into the enigma of the Las Vegas sports market and how Vegas defied the odds, transforming from a sports wasteland to a sports mecca practically overnight. I'm Blake Pullen. Welcome to Planet Vegas. Las Vegas, city of lights, high-stakes gambling, glitz, glamour, and entertainment. A desert oasis whose stages have hosted the likes of Elvis, the Rat Pack, Wayne Newton, Celine Dion, and this guy. When you think of Las Vegas, you think of showgirls, wedding chapels, massive casinos, fine dining, shopping, and hangovers. But there's a new game in town. A game that has accelerated the transformation of this constantly evolving city. Thomas Ainley Jr. said it best when he described the city. Contemporary Las Vegas is astonishing. At night, it's a brilliant cluster of jewels of all shapes, sizes, and colors, glowing in the middle of a vast black velvet canopy. By day, it's also an amazing sight, almost like a mirage. There is nothing but desert and rugged mountains all around, and then, in the middle of it all, one of the largest and fastest growing cities in the United States. Truly an enigma. As a longtime fellow resident of Las Vegas, I couldn't have said it better myself. Vegas is a special place, and it's come a long way in a very short time. From its early roots as the site of a desert fort built by the Mormon Church in the 1850s, to its founding as a city in 1905, to its gradual century-long development into one of the world's most visited tourist destinations, Vegas is known as the entertainment capital of the world. In recent years, visionaries and entrepreneurs have seen the potential in expanding beyond the usual offerings, recognizing the power of sports to capture the hearts and imaginations of people. The quest to bring Major League sports to Las Vegas was long and challenging, and while it may seem like the Vegas sports boom came out of nowhere, the groundwork for it was being laid for decades. To fully understand this rapid sports expansion, it's essential to explore the history of sports in the world's entertainment capital, which is more profound than many realize. Many people think pro sports only came to the Vegas Valley in recent years, but Las Vegas has had a love affair with sports for decades. Before Major League sports teams called Las Vegas home, the city hosted various high-profile sporting events, boxing being one of the most notable examples. An early experiment occurred in 1955 when Archie Moore fought Nino Valdez in an outdoor title bout at Cashman Field. While this event was only moderately successful, casino owners saw the potential for professional boxing to bring tourists to the city, where they would inevitably book hotel rooms and spend money in the casinos. By 1960, title fights were being held indoors at the brand new, swanky Las Vegas Convention Center. These events were a huge success, and it wasn't long before hotel casinos hosted high-profile boxing events at their properties. The formula worked. Boxing brought the kind of clientele the casinos wanted into the city, and the sport quickly became one of Las Vegas's regular entertainment offerings. Las Vegas became the preferred stage for these historic moments, from the legendary bouts of Muhammad Ali to many of Mike Tyson's thrilling fights and bites. Over the years, other combat sports followed suit. Along with the rise in popularity of mixed martial arts fighting, several MMA promoters and companies established themselves in Las Vegas. The largest MMA promotion company in the world, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, known as UFC, was born in Las Vegas in 1993 and is headquartered there to this day. UFC has become widely popular over the decades, and while the organization puts on matches worldwide, Las Vegas plays host to more UFC fights than any other city in the world. Vegas and pro combat sports seem to be a match made in heaven. As tourists can wander the casinos and gamble by day, wine and dine in the evening, and experience the visceral thrills and spectacle of a major title bout by night, all without having to leave the comfy confines of the Las Vegas Strip. The bright lights of Las Vegas have witnessed some of the most thrilling and historic bouts, solidifying its reputation as the world's fight capital. Las Vegas has a rich history of motorsports, which isn't well known to your average visitor to the city. The event that marked the beginning of racing culture in Las Vegas was the construction of the Stardust International Raceway. It began operations in 1965 and was developed by the Stardust Racing Association, a corporation headed by known gangster, businessman, and philanthropist Mo Dalitz. He was also the primary owner of the Desert Inn and Stardust Hotel casinos. Like most entertainment in Vegas at the time, the raceway was brought in to attract high rollers to its associated resort and casino properties. It consisted of a 3-mile road course and a drag strip. Stardust International Raceway was sold along with the Stardust Hotel in 1969. And the raceway was closed shortly after that. Although the drag strip was reopened in 1970, the raceway property was sold for residential development and closed permanently in 1971. During its short 6-year lifespan, the Stardust International Raceway was a playground for the who's who of the racing world and established Las Vegas as a legitimate motorsports city. By 1972, a new raceway had been constructed 15 miles north of the Las Vegas Strip. The Las Vegas Speedrome took over where the Stardust International Raceway left off, opening with a new road course and a drag strip. The complex, now known as Las Vegas Motor Speedway, still operates today. Owned and operated by Speedway Motorsports Incorporated, it currently consists of 2 paved oval tracks, several road courses, a dirt track, an off-road track, and a drag strip. Over the decades, Las Vegas Motor Speedway has hosted hundreds of top racing events in NASCAR, NHRA drag racing, Indy, Sprint Car, GT, and many others. Oh yeah, and it also hosts the Electric Daisy Carnival every year. But back to sports. Vegas has long been home to high-profile rodeo events. National Finals Rodeo, known as the Super Bowl of rodeo, is a championship event organized yearly by the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. It has been held in Las Vegas since 1985. Hosted at the Thomas and Mack Center on the UNLV campus, the event draws 170,000 plus visitors annually and is still going strong. The Professional Bull Riders World Finals was held in Las Vegas for over 25 years. During that quarter of a century, 4 different venues hosted the World Finals for different periods. MGM Grand Garden Arena, Mandalay Bay Event Center, Thomas and Mack Center, and T-Mobile Arena. If you're American or know much about the U.S., you'll know that college sports are taken just as seriously as pro sports in many parts of the country. Yeah, Americans go nuts for collegiate athletics, and Las Vegas is no different. The University of Nevada, Las Vegas, or UNLV, is home to various competitive sports teams. The UNLV Rebels compete in the NCAA's Mountain West Conference in Division I. Established in 1958, UNLV teams have entertained Vegas residents for over half a century. The UNLV Rebels have brought home 2 national championships in team sports and 6 national titles in individual sports. When you mention UNLV sports, most people think of the UNLV Runnin' Rebels, the men's basketball team, which is the most decorated team at the university. The most notable period in the team's history was from 1973 to 1992, when legendary Hall of Fame coach Jerry Tarkanian led the team. During that time, he took the team to 4 separate appearances in the NCAA Final Four and led them to a national championship in 1990. Las Vegas has been home to minor league sports for over 75 years. The Las Vegas Wranglers, a minor league baseball team initially competing in the Class C Sunset League, played their inaugural season in 1947. Various manifestations of the early Las Vegas Wranglers played in multiple leagues through 1958, when the final version of the team would cease operations. The Las Vegas Valley wouldn't see pro baseball again until 1983. When the AAA ball club, the Spokane Indians, relocated to become the Las Vegas Stars. The team became the Las Vegas 51s in 2001 and changed its name to the Las Vegas Aviators in 2019. Ice hockey would eventually play a pivotal role in Vegas's transformation into a major pro sports city, but many don't know that Las Vegas has a long history with the sport. The first hockey team to call the city home was the Las Vegas Gamblers, a semi-pro team in the California-Nevada Hockey League starting in 1968. Since then, 7 more minor league and semi-pro ice hockey and roller hockey teams have come to the Las Vegas Valley before 2017. These teams include the Las Vegas Outlaws, Las Vegas Flash, the Las Vegas Aces, Las Vegas Ice Dice, and the Las Vegas Coyotes. The 2 most notable minor league hockey franchises on this list are the Las Vegas Thunder, who competed in the International Hockey League from 1993 to 1999, and the Las Vegas Wranglers, who played 11 seasons in the ECHL from 2003 to 2015. The Wranglers were Las Vegas's most successful minor league hockey franchise, winning several division and conference trophies. At the time of the making of this film, they still hold the record for the highest winning percentage in ECHL history. Over the decades, other less notable and less successful minor league and semi-pro teams have come and gone. While this list may not be completely exhaustive, it covers most pre-2017 teams I haven't mentioned. In 2004, the NBA began hosting one of its off-season leagues, the NBA Summer League, on the University of Nevada, Las Vegas campus. The league was designed to allow NBA teams to try out different rosters than their regular season lineups. The lineups usually include upcoming rookie, sophomore, and minor league affiliate players. In the inaugural season, 6 NBA teams participated in the league: the Boston Celtics, Cleveland Cavaliers, Denver Nuggets, Orlando Magic, Phoenix Suns, and the Washington Wizards. Since then, participation in the NBA Summer League in Las Vegas has grown to include every team in the NBA, and it has become a highly anticipated and extremely popular annual sporting event. So, now that we've covered the early history and development of pro sports in Las Vegas, one can't help but wonder, Why did it take so long for Major League professional sports teams to arrive? Its size and population have long put it in the same peer group as Cleveland, Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Indianapolis. While considered smaller pro sports markets, all of those cities have or have had successful Major League sports franchises. So, why not Vegas? The answer is complicated, but I'll try to break it into understandable parts. Ultimately, public perception of the city was, and still is to some degree, misguided. This perception greatly affected the willingness of potential investors to risk backing a pro sports team in the area. This public perception was based on a few factors. Concerns over Las Vegas and its reputation as the gambling mecca of the United States were often cited as the primary roadblock to successful Major League sports establishing themselves in Las Vegas. The 5 major U.S. leagues were deeply hesitant to risk the scandals that could result from match-fixing of games held in Nevada. Since 1931, and for decades after that, Las Vegas casinos were the only places bets could legally be placed on sporting events. To further complicate matters, for decades, the state of Nevada had banned sports betting on any team based in the state. These long-standing laws strongly influenced the perceptions of Las Vegas and the potential perils involved in establishing a franchise there. For decades, the population of Las Vegas has been considered very transient by outsiders. This has become gradually less true as the city has grown. Still, the inaccurate perception of Vegas as a city full of casino employees, entertainers, and sex industry workers, putting in shifts at odd hours from daytime to swing shift to graveyard, made potential investors feel like establishing a loyal local fan base for any pro sports franchise would be an uphill battle. Today, worldwide, many still perceive Las Vegas this way. This reputation was strong enough to keep pro sports teams out of Las Vegas for decades. We all know that Vegas has no shortage of things to do. They don't call it the entertainment capital of the world for nothing. With many entertainment options for locals and visitors, the fundamental belief was that a pro sports franchise couldn't expect to fill a stadium or arena from game to game consistently. There were too many options to choose from. Pro sports are risky, and every sport has a deep history of failed franchises. Before the boom, several organizations attempted and failed to bring top-level pro sports to the Las Vegas Valley successfully. The Canadian Football League tried to expand into the United States, including Las Vegas, in 1994. The team they placed there, the Las Vegas Posse, was by all accounts a miserable failure and the least successful team in CFL history, on the field and off. The CFL expansion into the U.S. was an equally miserable failure and lasted only 2 years anyway. Other pro football leagues, namely the XFL in 2001 and the UFL in 2009, attempted to establish teams in the market. The XFL's Las Vegas Outlaws and the UFL's Las Vegas Locomotives lasted 1 year and 4 years, respectively. Both teams appeared when their leagues were born and died when their leagues folded. While one could argue that these attempts were likely doomed from the start based on the instabilities of these leagues, these failures still affected perceptions of Las Vegas as an unreliable market for pro sports. Now, this one is a bonus, and while it's not publicly cited that often, I think this was an additional major hurdle potential ownership groups faced. I'm a Vegas resident, and you don't have to live here long to realize this. If the casinos don't want it in Vegas, it isn't coming to Vegas. Because of their power and influence in the city and the state, the gargantuan gaming companies that run the city would have to be willing to play ball, no pun intended, for a Major League sports franchise to establish itself anywhere near the Las Vegas Strip. Any venture of that size that the casinos weren't involved with in some way or couldn't directly benefit from would be perceived as competition. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that the gaming companies could make establishing a team in the Las Vegas Valley very difficult for anyone who attempted it should they choose to. So, how did anyone ever overcome all of these obstacles? How did the pro sports boom in Las Vegas begin? Enter Bill Foley. By all accounts, the event that ultimately triggered the pro sports boom in Las Vegas was the arrival of the NHL. Las Vegas already had a history with NHL ice hockey, not just the minor leagues. On September 27, 1991, an outdoor preseason NHL game was held outside Caesars Palace on the Las Vegas Strip. The game featured the New York Rangers versus the Los Angeles Kings and drew a crowd of 14,000 fans. While ice conditions were poor due to the warm weather, the event was successful and paved the way for more NHL events in Las Vegas. From 1997 to 2015, a preseason game was held yearly in Las Vegas, featuring the Los Angeles Kings most often against the Colorado Avalanche. However, the Phoenix Coyotes, San Jose Sharks, New York Rangers, and Dallas Stars also participated in games. The series was known as Frozen Fury, and games were played at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. The annual NHL Awards have also been held in Las Vegas since 2009, so the city was no stranger to NHL hockey. But establishing a permanent Major League sports team would be no small task. It took proper timing and just the right person for the job. Bill Foley was that man. Bill Foley is a successful American businessman and former attorney. A billionaire with a fortune earned mainly in financial services, Foley easily met the first requirement for Major League team ownership: deep pockets. But it would take much more than that to overcome the Vegas pro sports problem, and Foley was ready to check the boxes one at a time. In December 2014, it was announced that the NHL would allow an ownership group led by Bill Foley to hold a season ticket drive to gauge public interest in a possible expansion team in Las Vegas. The campaign started in February 2015 and drew 5,000 season ticket deposits within the first 48 hours. By April 2015, the ticket drive had reached its goal of 10,000 deposits, and by June 2015, the drive had secured 13,200 deposits in total. In one fell swoop, Foley had essentially crossed 3 of the major hurdles standing in his way. That same month, the NHL opened the window allowing potential ownership groups to place bids for possible expansion teams. 2 ownership groups submitted proposals. One was Quebecor, bidding to bring NHL hockey back to Quebec City, a market that once had a team. The second was Bill Foley's group. Both groups moved through Phase 2 and Phase 3 of the expansion bid process, submitting detailed info about their markets and submitting financials for review. This left 2 more significant hurdles for Foley to overcome. As luck would have it, Nevada's 40-year ban on betting on Nevada-based sports teams had already been lifted in 2001. With the federal ban on most sports betting on its way to eventually being lifted in 2018, general concerns over sports betting were calming. We can mostly call this good timing, but it was one more hurdle out of the way. The last hurdle, which isn't often discussed, but in my opinion was one of the most crucial obstacles to overcome, was making sure the casinos weren't opposed to the arrival of a Major League sports franchise. At that time, plans were already underway for a new 18,000-seat arena and entertainment district to be built on the Vegas Strip. This arena would be a joint venture between MGM Resorts, one of the most prominent players in the Nevada casino business, and Anschutz Entertainment Group, a global sporting and entertainment corporation. Bill Foley set his sights on this venue, eventually to be named T-Mobile Arena, as the new home for his possible expansion hockey team. Not only was the arena state-of-the-art and large enough to host an NHL team as a tenant, but it was owned by a gaming company, who would undoubtedly reap their fair share of the benefits should Vegas be granted an expansion NHL team. This deal's gambling, dining, lodging, and general entertainment revenues would be worth it for MGM and generally good for the city. Bill Foley was wise enough to arrange a lease with MGM to use T-Mobile Arena, with an option to buy a 15% stake in the arena itself eventually. And with this, the final obstacle had been overcome. With literally everyone happy, Bill Foley managed to make this a no-brainer for the NHL. And in June of 2016, the Las Vegas expansion bid was approved by a unanimous vote by the league owners. Las Vegas was officially granted its first Major League sports franchise, soon to be named the Vegas Golden Knights.
My expectations for our hockey team are very high. I intend to create a dynasty here in Las Vegas.
Playoffs in 3, Stanley Cup in 6, no excuses, no reason why we can't do it.
Being granted a pro sports franchise is no guarantee of success, and despite Bill Foley's bold predictions, most sports pundits were skeptical of the NHL's expansion into Las Vegas.
To pay $500 million for a franchise, I don't know how in that market and in most markets you can ever make it work financially. I don't get it.
In addition to skepticism about the market, based on the team's expansion draft roster, hockey experts expected the team to be terrible. While these opinions were consistent with the common beliefs about Las Vegas and the typical records of first-year expansion teams, the pundits were about to be firmly proven wrong. No one could have anticipated what would happen during the Golden Knights' inaugural season. In the fall of 2017, the team would play its first few preseason games in standard NHL fashion. This short schedule of exhibition games served as an opportunity to tune up, test different lineups, and give young developing players needed game time at the NHL level. At preseason home games, fan attendance was strong, and local sports fans eagerly anticipated the opportunity to see the team in regular season action. What no one saw coming were the tragic events that were about to take place. On October 1st, 2017, a man named Stephen Paddock, from his suite at the Mandalay Bay Hotel, opened fire on the crowd attending the Route 91 Music Festival on the Las Vegas Strip. He fired over 1,000 bullets, killing 60 people and wounding at least 413. At least 450 more people were injured during the panic that ensued. It was the deadliest mass shooting by a single gunman in U.S. history. The city of Las Vegas was devastated, and the world watched as the city mourned and tried to pick up the pieces. At times like these, we're reminded of the most essential things in life. While pro hockey suddenly seemed incredibly insignificant, the sense of community that sports can create suddenly took on profound importance. Golden Knights players appeared at community gatherings around the city, offering to help the community in any way they could. The players grieved with the community, and in this way, they quickly became a part of it. On October 10th, 2017, at the team's first regular season home game, the deep connection between the city of Las Vegas and the Golden Knights would be set in stone.
Like all of you, I'm proud to call Las Vegas home. I met my wife here, my kids were born here, and I know how special this city is. To all the brave first responders that have worked tirelessly and courageously throughout this whole tragedy, we thank you. To the families and friends of the victims, know that we'll do everything we can to help you and our city heal. we are Vegas strong.
After a heartfelt speech by Golden Knights defenseman and longtime Vegas resident Derek England, a banner was raised to the rafters of T-Mobile Arena, honoring the victims of the October 1st shooting. After all of this, the game's results didn't seem to matter much. But that night, amid so much grief, the Vegas Golden Knights gave the fans and the city something to be happy about.
Luka speeds it through center, hands on, a nice pass, Nosek scores! Leipzig dangling, looking up top, they score! It's the hometown hero. McNabb shot, big rebound, and Neal scores! Cross for Smith, put in front, they score! It is Neal again. A little bit too much activity, but a shot, they score! The Vegas Golden Knights have made NHL history, the first expansion club ever to get to a 3-0 start.
You'd think such a beautiful and poetic beginning would be the season's highlight for the new expansion team. But as the world would soon find out, the Vegas Golden Knights were far from finished.
Towards the top of the slot, his shot, and he scores! David Perron in overtime, and Vegas wins!
They kept winning.
Carlson looking to join him. Smith over the blue line, left side, on a Carlson, and he scores! William Carlson's first of the year, wins it in OT, 3-2!
And winning.
Save from Malcolm Subban. Here comes Kasha. Save Subban! The Golden Knights win! More magic at T-Mobile Arena!
And winning.
Off down to Perron to Theodore. Scores! Shane Theodore with 2.3 seconds to go! Their best win of the season. 4-3 over the #1 team in the NHL and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
By the end of the regular season, they would boast the best inaugural season record of any expansion team in the history of the NHL. After steamrolling the Pacific Division to take the division championship, the Vegas Golden Knights would make the playoffs in their inaugural season. And in case you've been living under a rock for the past 7 years, what would happen next would arguably become one of the greatest sports stories of the century.
But in, Haula scores! Eric Haula says goodnight! William Karlsson has Rudy's in. He scores! William Karlsson wins this one in overtime. Here comes Riley Smith. Morrissey hustling back. Smith shoots. He scores!
The Golden Knights would make it to the Stanley Cup final in their first year.
We're down to 2 teams, so this qualifies as the NHL's heavyweight bout. It's Vegas and Washington in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. Led onto the back line. Miller drives, score! Fed one on out, and Smith a shot and getting a beat to that open. Rebound, score! Coming right out in front to push it home. England save, holding rebound. Oh, and a ricochet off the wing, and the score! It's Riley Smith breaking the tie. Another try in front. That's right, score! Tie game again. It is Reeves. Theodore moving
While they didn't manage to lift the trophy, the bond between the team and the city had been forged forever. The Golden Knights sold out every home game in their first year, with many games sold above capacity. It's safe to say the early success of the Golden Knights removed all doubt that Major League sports could be successful in Las Vegas. Through outstanding business practice and impressive management, Bill Foley and the Golden Knights organization have become shining examples for the NHL and for pro sports. Oh yeah, and this also happened.
The silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
Yep, that happened. By all accounts, the inaugural season of the Vegas Golden Knights was a massive success. And that success opened the floodgates for pro sports in Las Vegas. The stream of pro sports organizations flocking to Las Vegas has flowed steadily ever since. So, what has that stream looked like? The next major league organization to arrive in Las Vegas would do so the same year the Golden Knights made their Cinderella run to the Stanley Cup Final. In 2018, MGM Resorts purchased the San Antonio Stars of the Women's National Basketball Association and moved the team to Las Vegas. Remember, MGM Resorts, one of the heavy hitters in the casino industry in Las Vegas, also largely owned and financed T-Mobile Arena, the home rink for the Vegas Golden Knights. I think it's safe to say MGM got a taste of how pro sports could benefit their bottom line and quickly made plans to purchase a team of their own. The team would be renamed the Las Vegas Aces and play their home games at Michelob Ultra Arena at the Mandalay Bay Events Center, an MGM-owned property connected to the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. The Las Vegas Aces have been a competitive team since their arrival and won the city's first Major League National Championship in 2022. For the 2023 season, the Aces reached 5,200 season ticket memberships, the highest of any team in the WNBA. Just before their national title-winning season, Mark Davis purchased the Las Vegas Aces from MGM Resorts. Oh yeah, did I mention he owns the Las Vegas Raiders? Football is the most popular sport in the United States, and it's been that way for a long time. So when rumors started circulating that the Oakland Raiders were considering a move to Las Vegas, it removed all doubt that the pro sports world was finally taking the city seriously. The Oakland Raiders were a long-standing and storied NFL franchise with numerous conference and Super Bowl championships. With a devout fan base that spans the United States and the globe, a Raiders relocation to Las Vegas would ultimately prove that pro sports in Las Vegas were bankable at all levels. Raiders ownership had been considering relocation for years as their home stadium in Oakland, the Oakland Coliseum, was aging and in disrepair. Many attempts to fund renovations or build a new stadium in the Oakland area were unsuccessful for various reasons. In early 2016, plans were revealed for a new football stadium in Las Vegas. After a year of negotiations and successful approval by the National Football League, the team officially announced its relocation. The Raiders played their first season in Las Vegas in 2020 at their new $1.9 billion, 65,000-seat home, Allegiant Stadium. The state-of-the-art facility is the world's second most expensive stadium and also serves as the home field for the UNLV football team. The Raiders' value as a franchise has skyrocketed since its move to Las Vegas, and the local economic impact of its move to the city has been estimated at $500 million annually. Since its completion, Allegiant Stadium has hosted various high-profile soccer matches, the NFL Pro Bowl, special events, and concerts by some of the world's most known recording artists. well-known line from the famous baseball film Field of Dreams goes, "If you build it, he will come." It's often misquoted as "if you build it, they will come." In Las Vegas's case, it couldn't ring more true. In June of 2023, the Oakland A's of Major League Baseball officially announced their relocation to Las Vegas after Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo officially signed a new stadium funding bill into law. The A's faced similar challenges as the Raiders in Oakland, and while sports fans in Oakland are understandably unhappy with the news, it's not hard to understand why a move to Las Vegas would be attractive. The new stadium is planned for a 2028 completion, with the A's playing their inaugural Las Vegas season that same year. At this point, Las Vegas is pro sports gold. In addition to being an attractive location for investors, Las Vegas is also an attractive home for pro athletes. The teams that have set up shop in Vegas are successfully building competitive rosters, as the city has many benefits to offer players who move there. Las Vegas enjoys mild weather for much of the year, beautiful suburbs, easy access to outdoor activities, and countless entertainment options. Nevada residents also don't pay state taxes. Because of this perfect storm of circumstances, Las Vegas has become the quintessential location for pro sports franchises, and it did so in record time. While we've spent most of our time discussing the major league teams already representing Las Vegas, it certainly doesn't stop there. Potential ownership groups for Major League Soccer and NBA basketball have already thrown their hats into the ring, and this rapid expansion reaches well beyond the 5 traditional major league sports in the U.S. How far beyond? Well, let's see. Las Vegas Lights FC, a pro soccer team that competes in the second division of American soccer, the USL Championship. An expansion team that played their inaugural season in 2018, plays their home games at Cashman Field, and averages roughly 6,000 fans in attendance per home game. Henderson Silver Knights, the minor league affiliate to the Vegas Golden Knights. They play their home games in the brand new Dollar Loan Center, a $70 million, 5,600-seat arena explicitly built for the team. Owned by Bill Foley, the franchise has quickly developed a loyal local following of fans. Vegas Nighthawks, a professional indoor football team also owned by Bill Foley. They play home games in the Dollar Loan Center and compete in the Indoor Football League. Las Vegas Aviators. Formerly the Las Vegas 51s, the Las Vegas Aviators are the minor league affiliate to the Oakland, soon-to-be Las Vegas A's. They play their home games in the brand new 10,000-seat Las Vegas ballpark, located in the Summerlin suburb of the city, and have boasted league-leading attendance records since their inception. Las Vegas Desert Dogs, a professional box lacrosse team that plays their home games at Michelob Ultra Arena at the Mandalay Bay Events Center. Brought to Las Vegas by an ownership group that includes NHL legend Wayne Gretzky. Formula One. After unsuccessful attempts to establish the sport in Las Vegas in the 1980s, the world's premier and most popular racing organization hosted the first annual Las Vegas Grand Prix on a special road course through the streets of Las Vegas. By all accounts, it was one of the most exciting races of the 2023 Formula One season and is projected to have an overall annual economic impact of around $1.3 billion per year. Super Bowl 58. The 2024 Super Bowl was hosted at Allegiant Stadium, the regular season home of the Las Vegas Raiders. Considered one of the most thrilling games in Super Bowl history, the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the San Francisco 49ers to take home their 4th Super Bowl title. The event was reported to have an overall economic impact of around $500 million. Las Vegas will no doubt continue to reap the benefits of the pro sports economy for decades, and it'll be fascinating to see how far the city can take this. How long will this growth continue? Surely it has to slow down at some point, right? Probably, but not yet. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Planet Vegas. If you have any suggestions or thoughts on Las Vegas related topics you'd like me to cover on the show, be sure to leave them in the comments. And if you enjoy my work, could you help me out by subscribing to my channel and also like, share, and comment on this video? It makes a massive difference in the channel's growth, so thank you in advance. I'm Blake Pullen, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Planet Vegas.